Hey there, welcome. Thanks for joining me. So today I wanted to show you how I made face masks from Dollar Tree items. And what I used first was a placemat. And I chose to use a placemat for a few reasons, but I wanted something with some kind of filter or some kind of layering because I've heard that bandanas weren't very good for using as masks because they really don't protect much. So I wanted to use something that was a little bit thicker that might be a little bit better. And the placemats from Dollar Tree basically have two fabrics sewn together, and if you unsew it, you'll see that each one of them has like a layering in it. So I figured it would work better as a filter type of thing, so that's why I chose a placemat. But go ahead and use what you have. And all I did was measure out a 5.5 by 6 inch piece of fabric. And what I'm going to do next is grab my 2 hair ties for both sides, and then so in total you'll need 4 hair ties for one mask. And if you'll notice, the hair ties from Dollar Tree, they're seamed together, so you can just basically pull them apart at that seam. And what I did was grab 2 hair ties and use super glue and attach them together. Now these are going to go behind your ears, and if you don't feel comfortable just adding the super glue like I did, what I decided to do afterwards was go ahead and just cut a small piece off of the end of one of my rubber bands, my hair ties, and then I wrapped it around the seam part where I attached both hair ties together. So I made sure it wrapped around completely, and once I was sure about that, I went ahead, added some super glue, and then wrapped it around that seam area. And if you don't feel comfortable or you don't want your fingers to get stuck to those hair ties, go ahead and grab some pliers or even some rubber bands or something to squeeze those 2 rubber hair pieces together to make sure that part closes and folds together around that seam. So once you've done that, go ahead and set the both aside. Then fold your mask in half, just to give you an idea of where the center is. And then what I did was fold that like an accordion, just like that. And then what I did was grab the iron and then just iron on top of that seam, and I did that 3 times. Now this you don't have to do. I've seen some masks that don't have this accordion style, but I wanted it to be an accordion style simply because I wanted it to have a little bit more fabric, and I didn't want to feel like it was so close and snug to my mouth and nose. So that's why I did it, but again, that's optional. You don't have to do this little accordion style face mask. You can just cut it a 5.5 by 5.5 and it would be just fine. But like I said, I cut mine 5.5 by 6, so it could have that extra 1/2 inch just so I could fold it and make sure it had that little space for my nose and my mouth, so I could feel comfortable. So once I was done with that, instead of sewing, what I decided to do was grab my no-sew tape, and you can purchase this at Walmart. Sometimes they even have it at Family Dollar, Dollar General, but it's the no-sew tape. And what I did was basically fold my ends in just to make sure where I wanted it, and then I just grabbed a piece of the tape, cut it to size, and then folded it over and ironed it on. Now if you can't find this iron tape, you can use super glue and just glue it little by little, or even your hot glue gun for this part right here, and just glue section by section until you fold it all completely down. So there's 3 different options that I would use, which is this no-sew tape, my hot glue gun, or even my super glue. So once you've done that to one side, go ahead and do it to the top part. Now if you notice, I cut this from my placemat, and I cut it at the end or the corner of one of my placemats, so the other side is already sewn together, so that's a big plus. So just go ahead and fold the parts that aren't sewn, just so you can have a nice seam at the ends, so it can look a lot better and finished. So just go ahead and fold that over and use your iron to iron it on so it can attach to itself. And then once you've allowed it to cool, that's the trick with this iron-on tape. You have to let it cool down. Once you've allowed it to cool, go ahead and grab one part of your rubber band and then wrap it around the corner or the end of it with some of that no-sew tape, and then sew it onto one corner, or iron it on, I'm sorry. And then go ahead and you're going to do the same process to the other side. But on the other side, since it doesn't have that already folded part, what I'm going to do is put a little bit of no-sew tape on that edge of the corner. And then I'm going to get my placemat and just cut a piece of that fabric out. You don't need a huge piece. And then go ahead and do the same process. Wrap some tape around your end of your hair tie. And then you're going to place that piece of fabric over that part and then iron it on. So basically you're ironing both of those fabrics together, and you're going to do the same process to the other side, adding that tape around there, adding the fabric on top, and then just placing your iron over it and allowing it to iron on for a few seconds. And the trick is to make sure you let this dry before you put it on your face and use it. It's very durable, so you don't have to worry about it falling apart. So once you've allowed that to dry, you can go ahead and use it. And this is the way it looks. I know it's really difficult to find face masks, so this is a great option until you're able to find the correct ones, or until you find some that you feel comfortable with. But I hope this helps everyone out there right now in these times that are so difficult. So if you guys enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and share with friends and family. Stay safe until next time. God bless. Bye.